Since I'm not going to magnetically mount it and screw it in, I'm going to have to take the magnet out of here. So we'll just pull this off. That's the magnet part. And then this thing unscrews. Unscrew these little Allen keys here. And get this thing apart. There we go. Just like so. Now this part here has 3 holes, and this is sort of the gasket, weatherproof gasket. So I'm going to mount that on the RV, then I can put this back together and align it. So on my rig, I guess the bumper would be ideal being metal. It sits right at 20 inches there, so it might be a bit low. Also, I wouldn't want it sticking out and banging onto something. So I decided up here is 80 centimeters. So right in this corner should be a perfect spot, I figure. And that way it's back behind the bumper. It's a little harder to like walk by and hit or something like that. Kind of out of the way, protected back there. So I'm going to put it right here on each corner. Should work out. And on the other side, it's below the ladder as well. Also behind here, I have some beam coming down here that I can get a screw into, so I'll have a really solid connection as well. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's fine, I could walk on that. Now, this piece fits in there, rubber piece, and then this doodad fits in there. This goes back on top, like so. Okay, so that's tightened down. Now I've just got to adjust the angle on the thing. Show you that from above. So here we are, we gave you this little protractor here, and it actually fits right into those slots like that. And you want to make sure this line is straight with your rig, like the line of your rig. And then there's a little bubble level to make sure the radar is perfectly level. And then in here there's 2 Allen keys, and you just tighten them symmetrical, you know, tighten it a bit, tighten it a bit, tighten it a bit, so it gets a nice even tighten on it. So I have the rear tail light apart, and I wanted to figure out which wire was the marker light that would always be on. So on mine, actually, the ground return is the metal. So I'll just put my negative on there. And then the green here is actually the marker light. I have it plugged in and turned on the front of the RV on the tow cable. So that's the marker light wire there. So I want to splice into that. That's actually for the brake and flasher light. See, like that. Anyway, I'm going to come up from below, and red is going to go to that green wire positive, and I'm going to go black to this. And I'm just personally going to solder this and then tape it up. Easiest way for me to do it. Probably just notch a little hole in the bottom there so the wire can run up, and then a little bit of silicone there to keep the water out. Well, that should do the job for now, at least while I'm testing it out. I think if I decide I really like this, then I'll probably run the lead down underneath, and I'll bring some 12 volts out to it. But this will get it operational anyway. Let's have a look at programming this thing. So I've plugged in the two sensors or readout indicators here, and they will light up on either side of the dash, red light, or they'll sound off. This thing boots up. We've got, actually it's showing the two sensors there. I have my lights on, so it's showing left and right, and we're getting full bars, and there's the battery life. Speed, current speed of the vehicle is 0. We're not moving right now. And it'll go off on an alert if something goes past at 6 miles an hour difference. Let's just go into menu here. We've got pair left and right. I didn't have to pair it. They were already paired when I got them out of the box and hooked them up. But there is a button on each of the radar units there to pair it. OLED off. That just this light turns off at a certain amount of time. What else we got? Speed. There's the speed alert. There's different speed alerts you can go and set. I think the default was 17 miles an hour difference between the vehicles. There's 37, 56. So here's under the back corner, and I have a flap that I've previously had for access to this section of the water tank. And you can see the wiring in there, so I kind of experimented and found that the green wire, one of the green wires was my marker light wire. So I just spliced into that, attached the red wires from the radar units, and then the black wires I put the ground right to the frame there. So now when I turn on the lights in the truck, my radar units will go on. So we'll just sew this up and then run the wires neatly under the back of the RV. So I just stuck that to the dash, and then that slides in and out. I can take that out of the truck just by sliding it out of its bracket and unplugging the wires there. For over here, I stuck on the triangle just right there so I can see it out of my peripheral vision on that side. And then on this side, just because I have this strange post here, if I put it there, I don't think I'd see it as well, so I just stuck it down there. And this is going to be mostly because I'm usually in the right-hand lane. People are passing me on the left, or they're passing me on a single road. They're coming out and passing me, so I really want to see this thing easily. And I have tested it out on a trip to this campsite. We went down Interstate 10, and it was kind of nice to be able to see that. One thing I liked about it was instead of having to look over in the mirror to see anything or look up to my camera, I could just, I would see that red flash out of the corner of my eye, and I would know a vehicle is passing me. So let's give you a little footage of that in action. I didn't have the beep on. I find the beep is a pretty annoying when you're going to have a lot of vehicles passing you. So I just left it as a red light indicator.